Hello, everyone. Happy Friday!
Friday, everybody.
Welcome back. I'm Dana from Big Dot Consulting.
And I'm Bridget from Shift One Degree. So today we are talking about how to feel less anxious. And just to remind everybody from what we said on Tuesday, is that when we're covering topics like this, we are not referring to people that suffer from an acute, serious, challenging anxiety, depression. That's not the focus. This is about, people who are just literally finding that there's moments in their day or moments through their week that they are feeling anxious, and how do you manage that better?
Yeah. And I think we all have the moments that we feel anxious. I don't
Yeah.
think there is one person, but I think it's just the way you decide to handle it. That's
Mm-hmm.
what's going to determine what's going to be next. And that's why we've got a few tips for you today on how to feel less anxious. Number
Yes.
one.
So tip number one is the thing that I love, which is exercise. So when you are feeling anxious, and if you're able to do something, whether it's, in my case, running, in your case would be yoga, but if you can find some sort of activity, maybe surfing, it's a great way to feel less anxious, reduce your anxiety.
It is. It's just release everything from your system. Like I can say when I'm having a bad day, and that's why I've got my yoga mat all the time open in my living room. So I just get up, I do some poses. Just amazing how it makes your body feel, like the movement. So a lot of time it's difficult for us to convince ourselves to get up, to do a walk, to do a hike, to do yoga, whatever. But the moment you get up and you do it, you feel amazing after.
You
So
do.
just do it. The second one is tailor your environment. Make sure that the people around you are the people that can support you, the people that can give you what you need. When you feel anxious, if you have someone to actually pick up the phone and call him, and then it'll calm you down, relax you, make you feel good. That's gonna help you. If you're gonna have the people that just gonna fit it up all the time, your anxiety, you're never gonna let go of it. You're always going to get stuck. If you have a friend that's going to tell you you're exaggerating and going to explain you why, and you will understand it, that's why. Or help you to do some breathing exercises or whatsoever. But you've got the right supporting group.
Yeah, also with the environment, I think also now we are fortunate in the way that we don't have to be in, well, for a lot of us, we don't have to be in a work environment. So the environment that we're in, it's our home environment. And because it's our home environment, I understand some people have got children and families and all of that. I get that. But even within that, you are able to have a degree of control, as opposed to being in an office where you don't really have any control because it's a public space. So yeah, the environment's very, very important because it can really feed the anxiety. The next one is to limit, which we were all doing anyway because we didn't have a choice, but to limit the alcohol and limit the caffeine, because both of those can cause a lot of anxiety. I find with, especially with alcohol, with wine, that if I'm feeling great and I have wine, then I just, I feel even better. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, it just is. But if I'm not feeling great, the last thing I do is drink, because it just makes me feel terrible, so it definitely heightens.
I think you just need to find the balance.
Yeah.
And everyone's got a different amount of alcohol slash coffee. For example, I don't drink coffee. For me,
I know.
I'm crazy. But my addiction is chocolate.
But what, you don't like coffee?
I just don't like the taste of the coffee. I never found it like something that I'm like, okay. I'm actually, what's funny is that that I drink the water with lemon and ginger that I make.
Yeah.
And yesterday, someone asked me for a Coke Zero, and I still have some small bottles that I keep for just the case that I'll need that sugar, kind of the Coke Zero, which there's no sugar, but it's just a different flavor. And yesterday, I just gave it like a small sip. I was like, oh, it's disgusting.
But you haven't had this in my life.
I could not drink it.
Wow.
And I was addicted. But and that's the beauty of it. And that's how, you can actually make changes in life. And you need to find a balance in your addiction. And apparently you can even overcome them, because I overcome my addiction to Coke Zero. And I do like my alcohol, which I'm going to buy today, my new stuff. but,
Sure, I'm with you on that. Yeah.
but only that, I see a lot of people running away from dealing with their life and running to the alcohol because it's an easy solution. But find a balance. Teach yourself. And the nice thing, if you're going to teach yourself to put boundaries and to limit it, you will limit so many other stuff in your life that you will be surprised how good it will do to you.
Yeah.
But the next tip, if we're talking about it, is meditation, which I must admit that I'm not that good at meditation.
I'm so good. I know.
But I know that I do have friends that do lots of meditation, and it really helps to calm. So for me, the meditation comes from a different side. So when I do my yoga classes, I love it that my teacher ends the class in the end with some breathing exercise.
Nice.
So the reason why I'm not connected to meditation is because I'm an overthinker. My mind is everywhere, and I'm losing, like, I'm not getting anything from the meditation. But when I do the breathing exercise, which is super good and amazing for anxiety, and I'll give you one of them, which is the Ujjayi breathing, for example. So you take a deep inhale, and then you take an exhale, and you clear your lungs. Then you just take an inhale, and you pause, and inhale, and you pause. You do it for 5 times, the inhale and pause, and then you release. And then you do it over and over again, and you feel amazing. It will take your anxiety, and that's why all the breathing exercises are very important. And that's part of what you do in meditation as well. So if you're good with that, do it. It's going to really help you.
Also with meditation, I was listening to a monk today. I quite like listening to podcasts by monks, because, you know, they are very higher spiritual beings, to me anyway. And he was just saying, you know, just 5 minutes, because I think we put more pressure on ourselves to meditate, which makes us even more anxious. And it's like this thing. Whereas if we go, okay, we've all got 5 minutes. And so when he said that, I thought, because I made a commitment yesterday. So as you all know, I work at Say Yes. I do part-time work for them. And Andrew, who mentors me, which I'm very, very privileged to have somebody to help me through the process. And one of the things that we put in place yesterday was every single day to do things to still my mind because of it being so overactive. And part of that is the meditation. And if you could just start 5 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, so you can build up to 10. You know, it's not a competition, but like gradually building it up. 5 minutes, yeah. So I'm going to try that. I am. But yeah, I'm with you. It's hard. It's very hard.
It's hard, but if you do it with a breathing exercise, it's going to help you lots. So really try to focus your mind on the breathing. That's what helped me to stay longer in a meditation.
The next one is screen time. And, you know, I resonate with this so much. When I go to bed, and if I do a meditation, or if I'm reading or something like that, like I definitely nod off and sleep a lot better. When I'm watching Netflix or DSTV or something on my laptop, I don't know, for some reason, it really is like a stimulant. So if you can limit the screen time, especially before you go to sleep, that's a big help. It can be hard, but I think it's a big help.
So I think it's dependent on the person, because I must admit that I use the screen a lot, and I'm pretty much like with my laptop until I fall asleep, because I'm also working on the US and places like this. So I also work at night, and then I found myself a lot online and completing all the stuff that I need. But again, I think it's part of take it back to our previous podcast. You know, learn who you are, understand what works for you and what's not. And all the tips we're giving here, and we've still got one more, and we're going to go over all of them. Tell us, which one do you resonate with? Which one actually can work for you? Which one you actually may be using now? Because again, like exercise can work for certain people and not for everyone. The limit screen time, I know that for me, it's not a solution, but for someone else, it will. And that's part of how you're going to learn who you are. Be aware of things. See what's working for you and what's not. And give it a try. It's always good to try something new and say, was it working? Was it not? And where to take it. And I think it's also, I'm going to link it to the next one. The next tip is talk to someone. You know, and back to the second one as well, to, you know, tailor your environment. it comes together. Make sure you got the right people around you, the people that you can come and have a chat with, people that can relax you, can calm you down and help you to come out of that anxiety. Because a lot of people have an anxiety attack and sometimes they're not even aware that they had an anxiety attack. They only understand after. But if you are noticing that you're having an anxiety attack, stop for a second, get the right person that can help you. Or at the moment, get up and do some exercise. Or at that moment, get up and meditate. Find what's right for you, what's working for you. But it's very good to have someone to talk to, that especially a person that can actually calm you down and not just going to feed that anxiety and then you'll be like more stressed.
I think also with this is like, even with all of these tips, just when you try something, have like a trial time. You try something for a while, maybe for like 3 weeks, maybe for a month, whatever the case is. I mean, I've got this networking group. So I'll give you an example. And initially it was like we would physically meet. Then it went online and it was an hour. And now what I realize is actually, if I make it half an hour bi-weekly, which is now what I've decided to do yesterday, so I'm going to do it every 2 weeks for half an hour, literally have one topic around personal development, an interactive 30 minutes, to me, that's going to work. So you need to assess the time frame. Does it, is it going to be a week? Is it going to be a month? But if something is not working for you, change it. And if it is, well, fantastic. Then you found a new tip on how to manage yourself better.
And by the way, you can also find something that can work for you, but after a period of time, it's not going to work for you. And then you're going to change it to something else. That's also good. And that's part of learning who you are. But before we're going to sum it all up, I'm just going to give you a teaser for next week. For next week, we're going to do something a bit different. Next week, we're going to do an interview with Bridget share about our business. And I'm, as a marketing expert, I'm going to give her all the tips on what she can do with her business. So if also you want me to do a one-on-one with you live and help you more about your business, get more tips, so write your email in the comments below and we can do it. But let's sum it all up.
Yep. So tip number 1 is exercise.
Yes. Tailor your environment. Have the right supporting group.
Limit your caffeine and alcohol.
Meditation. If you can do it, it's an amazing tool for you to use.
And limit your screen time if that is appropriate for you.
Yes. And the last one is talk to someone. Take it all out. Don't keep things inside. If you're going to keep it inside, you're going to explode. And most of the time on the wrong people.
Exactly. And so if any of you are keen, it's going to be fun because I'm going to have an interview so for people who are doing coaching or in the personal development space or just in the coaching space, and they're wanting tips on how to market themselves in the current situation where we are right now, and you're on a budget, how do you do that? Then this might be a perfect time for you to tune in on Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's going to be like a case study for you. So Bridget's going to speak about her business and I'm going to give her tips and I'm going to ask different questions that's just going to help her how to market and brand her business. And especially now with the coronavirus, with the online thing, because we need to understand that there's a lot of changes. So if you learn to adopt the changes around us, you can grow even faster with your business. So that's what we're going to do next week. And if you also want me to give you tips on your business from the marketing side, from social medias, leave your emails or your name below. And maybe you're going to do a live with me as well. And maybe we can do even a live of the 3 of us. And you can get the personal development tips and the marketing tips together. So if you're interested, leave your info below and we'll do it you live. So we're going to wish you a happy weekend.
Yeah, have an awesome weekend. Bye.
Bye.